What's up, boys?
Doing good, doing good.
Doing good?
Yeah. Can't say living dream. You guys make fun of me, so.
No, I don't. It's my
Oh.
Well, I've told you why. It seems like you're genuine. You can say it.
I enjoy my life.
I know you do.
What about living the dream this week? What's been your dream? Yeah.
This week's just now starting. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
to be determined.
It's fair.
Been shopping lately?
Just now. Been shopping lately. Yeah. You bought anything make you feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that.
New Jordans?
Yeah.
We have our postseason basketball tournament, so we'll see if I'm
In a
living the
good
dream.
mood?
And
Is that
three? I think we play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So
Oh, wow. Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Baseball
I'm
season's here.
Oh
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Soccer
You-
starts.
yeah.
Kids soccer started. Already practice. Good times.
I know.
Swims over.
Springtime, man. It's
Springtime.
great time
Time
of
to start
year.
riding my bike.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that.
I'm ready for June and July because my boys don't do any athletics in June and July.
Also,
So,
who doesn't love summer? I do.
yeah.
I do.
I mean, mostly till like
Give me the heat,
first
bro.
of August, 110.
What is the song? Give me the beat. I sing Give me the heat.
Not too much heat though. Just a little.
I like it. I like it.
Just a little.
All right. Episode number 33. And we're kind of
33.
gonna swing back to something we've done a little bit of in the past, and it's Anthony's travel, man.
Yeah.
He's a jet setter, literally a jet setter. Flew down to Dallas the other day just for the day, and then back.
Yeah.
Incredible,
All the time.
all the time.
Houston.
Houston,
All the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting life, career, I'd
Yeah.
say, and so we're gonna talk a little more about that.
Yeah. It's got its ups and downs.
Yeah, never gets old.
No.
Never gets old. Hopefully more up than down.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
good times. Have you ever had a situation that was a little hairy? Have we talked about this?
He
I
talked
think
about
we
turbulence
have.
once. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
but did you ever have any
usually
like
it.
all the bells and whistles going off? You're
Yeah, we
like,
have
oh,
through.
crap.
Well, I mean, on it was through turbulence and stuff like that,
Mhm.
landing with like
That was it. You
major
were landing.
crosswinds
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah, we
Just
got
kinda
a
close
lot of
your
like.
eyes and.
Yeah, we ended up just
Let's-
boarding the landing, going around.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did you just close your eyes and touch her down?
didn't touch down.
Yeah, let the computer take over.
You had
Yeah.
to at some point.
Well, yeah, we had to divert. We went to a different airport.
Oh, less wind.
Yeah, that was
Is it-
pretty bad. We had like borderline, like moderate, severe turbulence, and like stall warnings were going off. Yeah, it was crazy.
Because the plane's small, or would it impact
No,
the
it
big
was
plane too?
no same big plane wouldn't make a difference. Yeah, just major wind shear.
Well,
on-
good. I'm
on
about to fly
approach,
somewhere.
yeah.
This is awesome.
See, I don't fly.
Yeah.
Right over the ocean. Woohoo.
That's about the only time in like I don't know how many years I've been flying. A long time.
You're flying over there. Where are you going?
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
I'm not going anywhere.
All right.
I guess New York
Just in your car.
in June is the
Oh,
only
June.
thing I have planned.
Oh, you are doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. As of now.
I'll be flying this week. I'm sure.
I'll be waving at
Yeah.
you from the ground.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, Anthony, let's talk.
Yeah. Well, let's do memorable meals first.
You want to do it first?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it
All right.
first. Yeah, I like.
Well, Anthony brought this up that, he does, when he travels, he eats like he seeks out awesome places, right?
Yeah,
That's
no,
your
I
deal.
do.
Yeah.
I do. But I want to talk about like
Memorable.
memorable. It doesn't have to be the food itself, but
Yep.
like maybe like a top 3 like memorable moments while eating.
Okay.
I think let's start with that.
Okay.
I like that.
You.
I'll even go first.
Oh, well, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
All
Yeah,
right.
Thank you.
I'll start it off, and I will say, were you gonna say something?
Now, my list might be completely different than your all's, but that's fine.
All right. I would say my third memorable meal would be Jennifer and I's birthday dinner a few years ago. We did a private cooking class with this lady, and we did a dinner around the world. And we had meals from like different dishes around the Mediterranean, and we all got to like help make it and stuff like that. But
That's
what
cool.
made it fun was there's like 10 of us, right? So all these couples and just like the camaraderie, the friendship, just the conversation, and plus the food itself was
Sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
It made it very memorable.
It's real cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. I'd
You're
love to do it again.
In Tulsa?
Yep, in
Yeah.
Tulsa. You go to this lady's house.
Nice.
Yep, all the prep work, all that stuff. It was super fun. It'd be a lot of fun to do. Even like our small group or something. It's
Yeah.
a little pricey, so
There's
but
you ever heard of Meat Church? He does something like that with barbecue.
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
Down in
uh-huh.
Waxahachie. Always thought it'd be kind of fun. You go down there and like spend the day.
Yeah.
And you learn how to do like, trim meat, smoke. Hey, who knows what all they do. Sounds fun. No, it's cool. All right. Here we go.
I don't
I
care.
took this.
Mine is terrible, so go ahead.
This is a little bit different take on that. So I made a trip to Africa in 2011. I went with a friend whose brother runs an orphanage with his wife there, and like in the middle of Nigeria. So it was really adventuresome travel. We weren't supported. It wasn't like we went with an organization or a church. It was just us two, and we had to make our way there.
Just winged it, huh?
Yeah, we kind of, I guess, just winged it. I mean, there was a plan. Of course, we had some people we met along the way that gave us some rides, and we stayed with some people that neither one of us knew, but Joey had connections with. And there were, I'm gonna throw out there just a couple of times. We landed in Lagos, and a gentleman named Obeka picked us up, and he took us to this chicken place for food, which I think is a big deal there. I don't think eating out is like a thing that much.
Like a chicken shack?
Yeah, kind of thing. And it was this rice that had this good spice on it, and then just like 2 chicken legs. That's what I had. But it was great. And it was almost like I felt like I was in a movie.
Were the live chickens still like
No,
prancing
it wasn't
around
quite
like that
bad.
kind of place?
Fresh.
But it was very interesting. But I'm also on the end of that trip. Joey traveled with us back to Lagos, so it's like a 2-hour flight and a 2-hour van ride. He went with us back to Lagos, so he was right outside of a village called OP, or Opai. That's how it's spelled. And he traveled with us to actually kind of connect and get some funding for his orphanage from this pastor of a church. It was like this big Pentecostal church, and so Joey didn't have any affiliation either. He kind of started this on his own, and he would take money for whoever. Like he wasn't just taking it from the Baptists, wasn't just taking it from Mennonites. He was taking it from whoever. So we went to this pastor's house, and we had this meal. And there's a couple things here. Still very movie-esque, right? It just felt crazy, the trip itself. But to sit down and have a meal with this crooked pastor who was taking money from people, telling him that they would be blessed, and had this mansion of a home next to just slums. And he fed us the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life, which seemed fitting, right? It just seemed fitting to me. We had these sea slugs that were like you can't see, I don't know, I'm trying to think like big, like a potato, like the size of a potato that they had sliced like a meatloaf. And he would put like 2 slices, had like this tomato sauce type thing on it. It was the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life. And that's why the setting, the grossness of that dude, even though he did give money to Joey, which is great, and the food itself was gross, and being in Lagos, Nigeria, all that combined was very memorable.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one.
All right, so my list is completely different than yours. Okay, so I try to bring a little humor to the group here.
I like it.
So growing up, we'd always have birthday parties at McDonald's.
Okay. I've done that.
And this is a tradition that I still do to this day as a 40-year-old man.
Nice.
All right?
Grimace.
Okay, he's not on there anymore.
Oh, that's too
but
bad.
McDonald's birthday cake. I still get it on my birthday. You guys probably don't even have cake, do you?
I do.
They have cake
See?
at McDonald's?
Birthday.
Now,
No.
Yeah.
the fun part of getting a birthday cake at McDonald's is going to McDonald's and asking for a birthday cake and watching the 16-year-old behind the register completely confused. So after a few minutes, they'll come out with the frozen sheet cake, and it's not on the menu.
Yeah.
It's one of those hidden
It's
items.
like, because
Wow.
you can do like an organized party there. I think they have like hats and
Wow.
it's
put
a whole,
out-
it's a whole
yeah.
production.
it's a deal.
Cool.
Yeah.
So they used to have these
I
big
like
like
it.
sugar pieces of Grimace and Hamburglar and all. Some kids somewhere choked, so they had to get rid of those. But it used
Blame
to
it on
come.
some kid.
Yeah, it used to come in chocolate only, but now they also have vanilla, which is not as good.
Yeah, I'm not a chocolate fan. I'd probably lean
It's
vanilla.
pretty bad cake, but it's just I like it.
Tradition.
You have to eat it frozen too.
Dude, that's
Or
great,
if you
man.
let it fall, it's not
It's real
good.
bad.
no
Bueno.
bueno. Yeah, no good. It's dry.
Nice.
Well, can I ask, do you eat it at the place or do you go take it
No,
home?
no.
Okay.
We take that home and then
You eat it in the new car?
yeah. Kids get a fork.
Kids get a
Yeah.
fork. I love it. That's
Yeah.
great, man. I love
McDonald's
that.
birthday
Yeah.
cake.
Learn something new.
That's good, man. That's
there you
good.
Yeah. All right. I have a memorable meal in Italy. I got to go to this place in northern Italy called Bergamo. We were supposed to go to Milan. The Milan airport was closed, so we flew into Bergamo. Very cool city. Probably never get to go back. It's a city from back in the Roman time where they actually built a wall. So they have an upper city and a lower city with a wall surrounding the whole upper city to separate it off. Just picture like what you would think like walking around like Italy, close quarters, lots of restaurants, lots of people, like people outside, tons of people. The town square, like a church built in 1300 still being used today. I mean, just that, like, I don't know. It's just
Baptist
like
church.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was this like picturesque of being in Italy and the smell of, all the foods and the wood burning fire for pizzas and pasta. And we sat outside and we literally like ordered everything off the menu to try just all this different stuff. Because we were on there for like one night or something like that. So it's like you got to get it all in on like one meal.
You have to.
And just like took it all in. And I mean, it was amazing.
That's cool.
In our hotel, they had in the basement, that's where you had breakfast. There was like things blocked off, like dirt and stuff like that. I was like, that's kind of weird. They're like, oh yeah, there's ruins there from like 300 BC. Like you're sitting there like drinking your cappuccino, and there's like stuff from 300 BC
Sure.
right next to you.
Yeah.
So it's very, very cool, very memorable.
Yeah.
Europe is nuts like that.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
old, man.
You lost
Way
me
old.
with lots of people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
No, it's fun though.
That
That's
sounds
cool.
good. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
All right, so I'm gonna go probably a little sentimental with these. Man, I honestly not even sure what we ate. I do know what we ate at the actual event. So we moved to Tulsa in 2018. I spent so my family moved here in June, end of June 2018. I spent from February to June working in Tulsa by myself. So it was, you guys know my family's super important to me. It was really, really hard to not be in the day-to-day with them. I went home most weekends. So I drove, it's like 4 hours. I would drive home most Friday evenings and spend until Sunday afternoon and then come back. I think only a couple of times in that time period did I stay through the weekend in Tulsa. But, yeah, a little single bedroom apartment I lived in. And a lot of times I'd kind of question God's plan for our lives, but it's all worked out. But when we all were finally together again in this new home, we had an outdoor fireplace, and for whatever reason in 2018 the summer was kind of cool, which will happen I think here more than it does back even 4 hours south in Texas. I think the humidity or whatever kind of drives that, but it was kind of cool outside, and this is where the food is not really the big part of it. We built a fire in the fireplace out back. We roasted hot dogs. We ate s'mores together. And, man, emotionally, I was emotional because my family was together again. And even now, just thinking about it, I can get a little choked up. So, memorable, not because of the food, because it was charred hot dogs and marshmallows, but because my immediate family was together again.
Love it.
good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Good. Mine brings you back to like my youth and growing up too. So in Southeast Kansas, there's like 8 different fried chicken places, and they all taste different,
Yeah, that's
and they
right.
all have different sides and stuff like that. But even going back home, I say going back home, it's like 2.5 hours. My parents will still get fried chicken, and my boys call it chicken on the bone for whatever reason. I don't know.
Because that's true.
That is true, and they
I love
love it.
that.
So we've kind of passed it down from generation to generation, but it's everybody up there buys it. The sides are like German sides, so it's like
Yeah.
German coleslaw,
Oh, yeah,
German
nice.
potato salad.
Yeah, I
love
like
German
that.
potatoes.
Yeah, me
But
too.
everyone has different sides, so it's always an argument like, "Hey, where we going? We're going to this one, that one."
I
And
love
then,
that.
Yep.
So
So are all the chicken really good, but
it's
the
all
sides
good.
set it apart?
Well, the chicken's different too.
The chicken's
So
different.
It all tastes different, but it's all. I think there's like 8.
Also,
right there in a
Forever
39.
now, from this point on, I will refer to it as chicken on the bone.
Yeah, there you go. That's a Braxtonism there for you.
I would like to open a restaurant called Chicken on the Bone.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds
it's
awesome.
like Chicken Annie's, Chicken Mary's, there's Bardo's, but it's
awesome.
good stuff. It's really good food.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I hope I can make a trip and eat chicken on the bone with you.
I had
and
to
your
bring
family.
some back. I mean, it's
Yeah.
even good old.
Yeah.
Not
Fried
old,
chicken's
but a
good
couple
old,
day.
man. Yeah.
Couple
Even
days.
cold.
Yeah, an
Yeah,
air
it's good.
fryer.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Good.
A lot
Love it.
of vinegar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. All right.
All right. For me, it's a meal that I feel like got me started on loving traveling, loving food, loving culture, right? Because being a kid from Oklahoma, there's not a lot of culture around here, right? Okay. Texas, get better. Even when you're a kid, there's probably some decent culture there.
By culture, do you mean diversity?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Different foods, cultures.
fair. Well, probably especially if
immerse in
you
things
weren't like
that.
seeking it out in Tulsa.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a Wasso, especially.
I grew up in a little town called Manford.
Yeah,
So,
well,
there
Yeah,
was
totally.
there was a Mexican restaurant, that's
Yeah,
about the
probably not
biggest
good.
diverse culture of food that I ever had. So It was back in 2010. Just started flying like really professionally, based in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So first time really leaving the nest right down there, immersed in essentially a third world country, right? And different cultures galore than you're used to. And ate at this restaurant called Metropole, next to the cockfighting arena. Yes.
Nice.
That's awesome. Were you eating the loser?
I don't think so. I don't know, though.
That's too
Maybe.
bad.
They
That
might
would-
have had a deal.
That would make the
right?
story even better.
They might have had a deal. I don't know. I never ventured into the cockfighting arena because I was like, there might be some sketchy people over there.
Might be, huh?
Yeah, I think there's no doubt there is, but I still think that would be kind of interesting.
It would be interesting. I should have went.
There's no
but-
doubt that you can find that here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. But it used to be legal
Think?
here. Used to be legal. Yeah.
Oh, it still is illegal. You hear about that stuff all
Yeah.
the time. Like they have
Yeah.
those rings set up. There's one in
But it used to be
outside my hometown.
Yeah, it used to be everywhere till they banned it. Well, supposedly, but yeah, this place, it was a Cuban restaurant, Puerto Rican restaurant, and it just kind of influenced me to really like seek out different cultures, different foods,
That's
and
cool.
just try different things, and just to hear from people about their food and their culture and their love of food and how it became part of their culture, and that kind of really got me started on, all that stuff. And I love eating different places and trying different things that I'm not used to.
Mhm.
Yep.
No, that's good.
Yep.
I like it. This was hard for me because I probably don't put. I love food too. I like to try new things. I probably have a poor memory when it comes to like what was actually consumed. Way back when I'm sure there's some like maybe the first meal that Bethany and I had as we got married, which I remember that it was kind of fun. But I guess I'm still gonna go back to like this. This was impactful in my life, obviously in its recent past. But before we left Texas, it felt like a lot of weight. Like I'd never really like we lived really close to all our family, and so like for me it was a big deal, man, for us. And we're only 4 hours away, but it was a big deal. So it just felt like it was changing big time. Like it was never going to be the same. And that has played out to be true. Now, maybe not as massively impactful as I thought, but it has played out to be true that it has not been the same because we live here and not there. But we were with my family. So both my grandparents are friends. So my mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family were all together. And it was right after Christmas. And it wasn't because we were leaving by any means, but it was just a gathering of family. And I just remember thinking, and it was all the normal stuff. It's almost like that many people. It's almost like potluck at church. So a lot of crock pots, a lot of food. So there's just everything. I can almost imagine. It's like Christmas and Thanksgiving almost. And I remember thinking like, we're gonna miss some of these, and it just was kind of heavy. I think I talked about the one we got here, but I played it over in my head a few times, and every time I've gone back, it's just been a little different, a little less people there. Grandparents are older, my parents, you know what I mean? Like you just start to kind of like things just kind of progress, and you're not around to see it. And so I would say probably that one was very memorable. Another one, my kid's baptism was a big deal here, but it's another like sentimental one. We had a big kind of, most everybody was here for that. That was pretty cool. So anyway.
It's good.
Yep.
Mine's kind of like yours too. Growing up, we drove about 40 minutes one way to church. My family, so my parents, my brother, and I. So the four of us. My grandparents went to the church, and then my aunt and uncle. So 8 people. We'd go to my grandma and grandpa's house every Sunday and eat lunch there, right? And that's something we just remember doing every Sunday growing up. And my aunt and uncle got married and had kids, and the table kept getting bigger and bigger and fuller. But the food amount always stayed the same, right? Like the roast was still the same size, so you get a little bit less. And I mean, my grandparents were very frugal and things like that. But that's something like, the
Probably
gravy
helps you out in this area department right here.
That's
that's
funny.
just-
I love that.
and the dishes, you'd have some like, because my grandma, she was a really good cook, but they'd make stuff in Jello, right? So you have like shaved carrots and the orange Jello. I'd never tasted that stuff, but like people love
I don't
it.
like that either.
Sounds a little different for me.
Yeah, but that's something.
Cousin Eddie would like that.
Yeah.
I hear Pastor Scott really loves like the stuff in Jello. So
See, it must be grew up
I
on
think
potlucks or
maybe
something.
somebody
Jell-O
should bring
salad.
that to the church potluck coming up.
Throw some
I do not
pineapple
like
in there.
potluck. I am out.
I'm out too. I'm not doing potluck. Yeah. But just getting together with your family once a week, and that's fun. It's good stuff. Good
Yeah,
memories.
it is.
That's
It is
cool.
good. I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a couple travel stories with food here lately that are fun. First one's a It's in Houston at a Doner kebab sandwich place. Have you
H-Town.
ever heard of a Doner sandwich?
Like the Donner Party?
Doner kebab sandwich.
Donner's is in Kansas, I believe, but go ahead.
No.
I don't know. I've never
So
heard of it.
I hadn't either till I went to my last Europe trip. I was in Germany, Frankfurt. The guy that was traveling with us was like, hey, let's go have a Doner sandwich. And I'm like, not really sure. Like, I've heard of Doner kebab, which is Turkish. So Doner, it just means like sliced meat kebab. So think of like gyro, gyro sliced.
Yeah.
Well, Greek call it that. Gyro. In Turkey, they call it Doner. So you can have like sliced lamb, beef,
Yep.
or chicken right on a skewer.
God, that thing
spin
looks
around.
amazing.
Yeah,
How do
it's
you make
awesome.
that thing? Is it layers of meat? It looks incredible.
Yeah, I think so. And then you like shave some off, and then you
It
kind of like
spins.
crisp it up on the grill. I think that's what they do.
Oh, man. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to make on your own.
We should
unless
make
you have
one.
that. It's cool. It's very cool. So we go over there. He's like, hey, let's take this plate. I was like, I've never had a Doner kebab sandwich. I'm like, sounds good to me. I always love trying new things. We go to this little shack there in Frankfurt, and it's literally like, it looks like a piece of pita bread, but it's actually like a sesame bread, kind of crispy, airy. It's kind of nice, and they, you pick chicken or beef, sliced up. You throw in there. There's like different cabbages, onions, lettuce. These like 3 different sauces or whatever, and it's like like a two
You lost
two-hander right
Lucas
there.
at lettuce.
Yeah, it was like,
Vegetables
and it
for
was like delicious.
That sounds good,
I was like, man.
Yeah.
So I did the.
I'm a sandwich fan.
I was like, got back to the hotel. I was like, man, what's the history on this? Come to find out, back in the day, Turkish immigrants migrated to Germany, and they wanted like a street sandwich, like kind of their food. So it's like a German Turkish influence of like a little street sandwich for like Turkish workers back in the day. They just make it real quick
awesome.
and grab it, and that's how they came up with the Doner sandwich.
There you go.
Well, I come to find out they have one in Houston. There's like a chain, like
Sure.
worldwide chain. Like they have them in Houston, up in New York. There might be a few other in the U.S., and then there's like a bunch of them over in Europe. It's literally called like German Doner. It's like the place of it, and it's like brand new spot opened in Houston right by our hotel. And sure enough, it's the exact same
it
sandwich.
good?
Tasted delicious.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if
Yeah.
you're ever in Houston or
Check it
up
out.
in New Jersey, and there might be some other ones. You can have a legit German
Just
Doner
kidding, New Jersey.
sandwich.
We love you. We love you.
Yeah,
Looking for
can't
sponsors.
You can't even pump your own gas in New Jersey. So that's
Say
what it
what?
was. Yeah,
No, they still pump it for you.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
You have to let them pump it.
I couldn't figure
They're
out
like
how
the
to
union.
I couldn't figure out how to open my gas tank on my new pickup.
Oh, geez. There's a button.
No, there's not.
You just push it.
Yeah, I didn't figure. I had
Yeah.
to. You know what I had to do? This is embarrassing.
Read the manual. YouTube.
Yeah, I YouTubed
YouTubed
it while I'm at
it,
the
yeah.
gas station. I'm like, how to open this?
The
stupid
van.
gas- Oh, you push it in and it pops out.
Yeah,
Like,
that's how the van is. But if your
Yeah.
car is locked, you can't open it
Right.
in the van.
okay,
It's got to be
I don't
unlocked.
know.
and it
I don't know
unlocks it.
about
What
that.
year is your new truck?
21.
21? 21?
21.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So my other
Anyways,
one is a Lebanese place. So my wife's Lebanese. Her family
Yeah.
we eat a lot of Lebanese food.
I like it.
She's very picky on her Lebanese food and the spices and all that. Well, there's this place in D.C. It's actually by Dulles Airport, so Virginia technically, but call it D.C. Called Mona's Lebanese Kitchen, and Mona still works there. She's a grandma.
Yeah.
She's this old Lebanese lady. She's from Lebanon, migrated over here.
Okay.
She's opened this little restaurant. It's only open for lunch on 4 days out of the week, 3 days out of the week, something like that. But it's in a house, it's
that's
in
cool.
grandma's house.
Yeah.
You walk in, there's no hostess stand. It's just like
cats
you
running around?
walk in. I didn't see no cats.
They're
That's
eating-
good
you're
because
eating
that's
those.
gross.
No cats. It's old wooden house. I
Yeah.
mean, literally, it's 2 stories too. You can go upstairs and eat. But literally, there's like dining room tables
Yeah.
like spread out throughout the house. And you walk to the back. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sit over there. It only holds, there's probably like 5-6 tables.
Yep.
That's about it for this little place. And she serves up. It's like her. I talked to her granddaughter, and I think just people in her family that run it. And it's like just traditional Lebanese like home cooking, and it's so good.
It's awesome.
Like from hummus, they got shawarmas,
Oh, love shawarma.
yeah, kibbe,
Yeah.
just all the traditional things.
That's
the
cool.
Lebanese salad, and it's like the perfect seasonings. Where I'm like, Jennifer, you would approve of this place. It's just somewhere different and neat.
Yeah.
And I've taken the guys I fly with and stuff like that. And they're like, man, that's probably the
So you've been
neatest
there a
place
few
I've eaten."
times?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. There's a little place in Denton that's Italian food that's like that. It's in a home.
yep.
Giuseppe's maybe, I can't remember the name of it. It's really good food, and it's Italian food, and I'm not huge into pastas and gravy on the you know what I'm talking about, but
unless you're in Italy. If you're in Italy, that's a
I think
game
you
changer.
have to, right?
Yeah,
I'm just not a big pasta. It just fills you up, man.
No, dude. When I left Italy, dude, I was about to burst.
Yeah,
And that was like I still had like 6 more days of eating in Europe in different countries. So
Yeah,
dude, I was hurting on that trip.
no, that's cool. Man, that sounds awesome. I'd like check that out.
Yeah,
sometime.
it's very cool. So if you're in that area,
All right,
you have to
so
let me know. It's
we need to start. What we need to start doing when you talk about your food places around the world, we need to start like popping in if they have like a website or like in our show notes. So
I
people
don't even
can
know if she has a website. He's gonna get on Yelp and
people. But
find it.
even that we could pop the name in, so
Yeah.
people that are traveling or all our listeners in the DC area, Virginia, can swing over to Mona's and have some.
They will not be disappointed.
Lebanese food.
Yeah, Lebanese
food. Awesome, good stuff.
It's good. Good.
Yeah, so I want to close it up on the food note, and I
Let's do
think the importance of food in our culture and what it brings together at a table. And I feel like the American culture has kind of gone away from that, right? Even like, how often do you hear where families don't even eat dinner together anymore, right? Everybody's so busy.
There's 2 nights a week that we have a hard time making it happen. Yep.
Yeah. We try to do it 4 or 5 nights a week at dinner.
But there's some families who never, right?
Yep.
It's just not a thing. Like, dad eats it he's watching a show or whatever, and then
Mavs basketball,
whatever, and the kids are doing their own thing, and mom, and I just don't think that's necessarily a healthy
It's not.
family lifestyle.
No, it's not
sometimes, right, hey, you're super busy. It's like, hey, we got to eat real quick. Like, we get that, but I think we should still try to implement at least a few nights a week, right? Or whenever it's possible, right? Never, just don't be lazy about not doing it, but about sitting down and just the conversations that can happen at the dinner table, right? With your family.
Dude, we could probably
See
do
how
a whole
they-
podcast around that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
We do some things at our dinner table that I think people might enjoy.
Yeah,
A lot of
I'd
problems,
love to hear all that.
A lot of problems can be solved around food in a dinner table.
Yeah,
Nobody's
exactly.
mad when they're eating good food.
No, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. So not just your family, like the things that can come, the conversations that can be brought, right? Putting these things. This drives me nuts right here when you're eating.
Yeah.
Even if I'm eating out with
Can't
people
have it.
or whatever.
Yeah, can't have it.
Work's a different thing, but like just you're trying to have a conversation, and when somebody's got their face in the phone, I don't like the phone at the table. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. But yeah, just seeing how everybody's day went, just having true intentional conversation, and that broadens to not just our families, right? But just the power of food for different.
Yep.
That the power of food that it can have on just your relationships and stuff like that. And Jesus calls us he gives us examples of all the time of, eating with people and not just his friends, right?
Nope.
He ate with sinners, Pharisees, all that, and he was ridiculed for it. But I think he shows us the power of food that it can have at the table to bring people together, for him to tell them about what he's about, right? I mean, I'm sure he was preaching at these people, these sinners and stuff, when he was having food with them, and maybe they put their guards down right when we're enjoying a meal together and took the time to listen to him and what he had to say.
Yeah, most cultures, breaking bread together is a very I would call it like an intimate thing.
Yeah,
Like
very
you're
very intimate.
welcoming people into your home, especially if you're doing that. But you're breaking bread together. And it transcends language, right?
Yep.
It transcends culture, transcends race, it transcends all. And I think the heart of hospitality is a tough one for us.
Yes,
It's really hard. I mean,
because it takes time,
takes time,
effort,
takes
cleaning.
effort. Yeah, it just it's hard. It's just hard, man.
it is.
It's inconvenient, and
Yep.
I think that Bethany and I talk about that a lot, and how we should be a little more intentional about seeking to make ourselves uncomfortable through that idea of hospitality, because Jesus did have it.
Yep. It's one thing I enjoy doing occasionally, because it is a lot of work, but there are times where we have friends over and I cook these big meals, and it takes all day, right? It's a process of stuff, and then you only eat for 20 minutes. You spend hours, right? That's kind of the thing, but the byproduct of that too is great too, with just the conversation, and you just never know what conversation will be brought up with food, and what will come of that. And I think the American culture, we're just so
go.
Exactly. It's just I'm here to just stuff my face and be done, right? Real quick. And I had a guy teach me. This was not a religious. He was not a religious person at all, or a follower of Jesus. But it's like, hey, when we're here to dine, right? Not just to stuff your face. And it kind of got me thinking of, other cultures and how they have like 2-hour meals, right? 2-hour dinners. And it's just, I know it seems crazy, but I've been over there. I've done it in Europe and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's just meals that come throughout, and just it's just amazing because you're like, I don't have an agenda, right? You just you immerse yourself in the people that you're with and enjoy the time, the conversation, and the relationships that come from that. And I think that's important. I think we miss that a lot here, and I would say that we need to follow Jesus' steps. I do have one verse I love. I've kind of originally, had our small group. We used to share a meal. It's kind of changing a little bit, but I still think it's important. Acts 2:42, we see the beginning of the church, and says they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and prayers, and all those things I think are very important, and what we should be doing. And
it's good.
So
It's good stuff.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff.
Yep.
I love
challenge
it.
you to be, take the time and to spend with people and not just rush through your food.
Yeah, it's an intentional effort. There's no, I appreciate that, Anthony. It's good. Good call to action.
Cool.
Convicting. You big jerk.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. All right. Lucas, you good?
I'm good, man.
You good?
Good job.
Man, that's good. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.